I've done so many of these. But anyways, welcome back. I can't be loud because there's people sleeping in the house right now. Okay, right now, we're doing episode 3, season 2 of The Walking Dead, of the TV show. And as you might hear in the background, there's buzzing. But anyways, that's from my TV. It's on right now because I'm watching the TV show back over. So, I'm going to just say a little bit about the comic books and the actual TV show right now. I didn't do any before, so this has popped up. I don't know, if you don't like it, click off. Don't have to watch it ever again. But anyways, from that. Okay, tonight, because I'm doing it right after the TV show, the first one, there's 4 main characters in this show right now. Well, in this episode, actually, I should say. The Governor, Michonne, I'm really bad at her name, Andrea, and Merle. Merle, as we know, season 1, I can't remember what actual episode, maybe season 1, episode 2 or 3. We met him, Rick handcuffed him to the top of a building in Atlanta. He chopped off his arm. We never seen him ever since. Now he pops up in the Governor's group. We don't know really how he got there in this episode. All we really know is that he was just about to bleed out. Governor's group found him, took him to Woodbury. That's how this episode tells how Merle got into the Governor's group. This is, I should really say before this is a spoiler-based episode, as you can probably tell. But, anyways, from all that, let's start how the show began and ended. So, Michonne and Andrea, they seen a helicopter go down. It was a military helicopter went down. They wanted to, check if anybody survived. Only one person survived out of 10? No. It looks like 10. He said it was 10 in the helicopter, the helicopter pilot himself. But there was actually, it looks like 5. But anyways, from that, they go look for any survivors. And while they were there, they heard vehicles come in. So it was the Governor's group who was coming in. They hid, Andrea and Michonne, tied up the 2 zombies that were there. And the Governor's group was searching for survivors, whatnot, supplies and whatnot. And, well, there was noise coming from Andrea and Michonne, which the Governor's group were, scanning for the area. Michonne took out the 2 zombies. That's how the 2 zombies were cut from the whole series right now. And while the Governor's group was just about to leave, Merle found them. Merle knew that Andrea was because he knew Andrea because of the Atlanta situation. And they took Andrea and Michonne to Woodbury as pretty much hostages for a little bit. They went into the medical center because Andrea had a cold, pretty much, and she got treated for that. From there on, we seen Woodbury, and Woodbury is actually way different from the comic books, because comic books, it was pretty much a death town, pretty much, because they were showing off shows in a racetrack with people beating up each other and everything. But in this actual TV show, it wasn't that, actually. It was actually everybody had a job. They had strict rules because they didn't want anybody to die, and so on and so on. So, they were in the town, and then the Governor, it seemed like he was really nice and everything, and he asked questions because he wanted to know how Andrea and Michonne actually survived, get intel from them and everything. And they had a laboratory in the background, nobody really knew about it. They had a laboratory, trying to figure out what the actual infection was about The Walking Dead, how they were coming back, how they were, staying alive, everything. And they found out since Michonne had these 2 zombies, they weren't biting them or anything. And they were wondering how could this be? Maybe they just stopped trying to bite them and everything. And so on and so on. And they just kept on asking more questions, no answers. So they have to keep on, getting more intel from Michonne and Andrea, which they don't really get and everything, and blah blah blah. He keeps on going on. Then we get to the part where the pilot, the surviving pilot from the actual crash, he wakes up, tells the governor, like, where his location for his friends are, because he was actually, like, he was scouting out the area ahead of them, because they had a helicopter. They were just scouting out the area and then come back, but their helicopter had problems and they crashed. So, the governor found out the location of his friends, because the pilot told him, and they went off and tried to get them, and saying, "Oh, we're gonna go out and save them." But if you know from the comic books, the governor's not like that. But in the TV show, it seemed like, oh, is he actually going to do this? Is he actually going to be a good guy? Well, if you don't want to like learn what happened at the very end of the show, I'm just getting to the end of the show. If you don't want to know that, just cut off the video right now. So we get to sorry about that. I'm having a dry mouth right now. But anyways, they get to the actual place where all the military was, and there was about 20 guys pretty much with two big trucks, a military jeep, and a few supplies, ammunition, and everything. And the governor just drove right in and said, "Oh, we found your pilot and everything." And they were all happy and everything. And the governor pulls out his pistol and shoots two of them. And then there's just fire going everywhere. I thought the governor was going to die. But it was actually the governor's group surrounding them and just shot everybody in the military group. So I was like, what is this? What's going on? And then later on, we see the governor takes everything that the military had, like all the supplies and everything, and go back to Woodbury. So my thoughts of this is that the governor's wiping out everybody he sees, all the military, getting all the supplies for himself and the group that he has, to stay in control. So he takes everything pretty much and goes back to Woodbury. He says, "Oh, nobody survived, there's biters, they all died." So everybody believes him like usual because he's the main guy there. And Andrea's in love with him pretty much. There's a love interest now. And next episode, we pretty much hear that Michonne's gonna see the blood on the truck. And shit's probably gonna get real after that. But at the very, very end of the show, where we thought the governor was getting like really insane just because of that point, we find the governor's secret room. Which, if you see in the comics, he actually has a secret room for himself too, where it's actually in the comics. He just walks in a room, sits down. We think, oh, that must be just where his daughter is, or where his brother's daughter is. Where, if you read the novel, that's what happened to his brother's daughter. But anyways, we look, and it pans right in front of where he was looking. And there's fish tanks full of, like, walkers, or zombies, in this case. Zombies' heads just floating there. And that's how it ends, because, I don't know, we're shown that the governor is actually really evil, pretty much, because all his actions showed up with this. And the pilot, they killed him. After they got the intel, they killed him. And you see this because his head's actually in one of the tanks. So, I'm thinking right now, Andrea and Michonne's in a bad situation right now, because once they get all the intel that they need, they're dead. Simple enough. So, if you like this episode, tell me what I need help with, if you want to try to get more out of these, more videos from me, with The Walking Dead. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna get a drink because my throat's really dry. And see ya.